Yo, happy Friday, man. Bracy Skills Clinic's back with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, man. Doing a video, everybody wants to hear my input on the finals and just overall, like Steph legacy. Me being a Spurs fan, I'm pretty sure other Spurs fans are seeing it. They're starting to, really starting to go in on, all-time rankings and where the Steph ranks. We seen Steve Kerr make the comparison to Tim Duncan. We've seen some other comparisons. So I'm going to get into all that. I'm going to try to be as quick as possible. Let me get straight to it. So there, over the past, I'm going to say ever since Kobe retired, right? 2016, just like Jordan. And they'll do this with LeBron. We even seen it a little bit when they start talking about Zion and next LeBron and all that. That's a different story. But, there's always, there's always going to be who's the next of something. When you see somebody do legendary things and has had a major impact on the game, it's all about, who's going to be that next guy, right? And so when Kobe retired, there was always this big thing on the next Kobe or who has the Kobe style, who's Mamba mentality. And we all saw some of the players Kobe was able to work with before, his passing. And it's a long list of players. But the main two that, I think most people identified with Kobe as far as just being students, besides Kyrie Irving, of course, but just on its, position, style of play, the two that always stood out was Devin Booker and Jason Tatum. Those were always the two guys that stuck out as far as style of play, somewhat size. We know Tatum's bigger, but just relying on footwork over athleticism and just being a Kobe student, Kobe fans. Those were always the two guys that stood out. And those two are definitely talented. Definitely talented. I'm a fan of both. I know both of them did not go out this year the way they wanted to. That definitely wasn't Mamba mentality, but I don't think that takes away from who they are as players. I know we're seeing the Tatum slander. We saw the Booker slander a few weeks ago. But keep in mind, guys, these guys are really, really young. And everybody went through it. Everybody had to lose before they finally learned how to win. We talk about LeBron's failures. We talked about Steph's failures, believe it or not. Us being Spurs fans, even though we beat the Warriors in 2013, I'm going to be honest, the Warriors scared me to death that year because even though I felt like the only reason why the Spurs beat the Warriors in that 2013 matchup was because of experience. I think they outplayed us a lot of times. Even the game when Ginobili hit the game winner, they outplayed us in that series. But you saw the lack of experience from them and how poised the Spurs were. So we all saw them coming. But even Steph had to learn how to lose, right? So to tie it in, I hate when people try to really knock Tatum to the point where he's not it. He's not who he thought he was. The dude is 23, 24 years old. He's got plenty of years to prove himself. Giannis, who won the championship last year, before Giannis got a ring, you know how many people, including myself, was critical on Giannis. So just keep that in mind when we start slandering young players. But where I'm getting at with the Kobe thing, I know Steph doesn't fall under the category of Kobe students, quote unquote, the guy that worked with Kobe and trained with him. I know Steph doesn't qualify under that, but I'm going to just tell you something. To me, Steph is very Kobe-like. And I'm not talking about style of play. I'm not talking about size, position. I'm not talking about demeanor. I'm just talking about how he's just a stone cold killer. He's like a different version of Kobe. He's his own player. Steph is going to go down with his own legacy. But what I'm saying is, I seen Ball Don't Stop say this. Shout out Ball Don't Stop. Steph's fourth ring is similar to Kobe's fourth ring. And I agree all the way. Because if you guys remember Kobe in real time, they criticized Kobe as well for not having the Finals MVP. They criticized him as well. They criticized Kobe for not having the Finals MVP and talked about it with Shaq. And some people even said Kobe got carried and Kobe would never win again within that time frame once Shaq left to when he got his fourth one in 2009. Very, very similar. Did it happen the exact same way? No, of course. But I'm saying very similar as far as the emotions that come out of winning that fourth championship. And, you know, I bring up Tatum and Booker to say, yes, those guys remind me of Kobe as far as style of play and the footwork. But the Kobe comparison needs to be going to Steph. Steph is the one that showed Mamba mentality. He's the one that hit all the big shots. He was the one that willed his team to victory. Even played some good defense on Tatum, giving up all the inches he gives up in height. It was Steph the one that showed real Mamba mentality. So no knock towards Tatum, no knock towards Booker or any other player that's come out of, you know, that the media says is Kobe students. I think everybody's a student of Kobe because everybody was fans of Kobe. But Steph, to me, you know, I know Bron has 4, and I don't want to. You can't put Steph ahead of Bron right now. Bron has accomplished too much in the game, but he's not ahead of Bron. But I think what people got to start paying attention to is the year Steph got ahead of him. Steph has a chance to add to that ring collection, bro. And I like his chances of adding to his ring collection just due to age more than LeBron's ring collection. So we know Bron's going to have almost every stat. But my question to you guys is, where would Steph be if he actually wins another championship? If Steph gets 5 and gets another Finals MVP, kind of similar to Kobe's resume, 5 rings, 2 Finals MVPs. If, let's say, Steph and the Warriors win a championship again next year, that argument is a whole lot closer. I know LeBron fans are not going to want to hear that. I know Bron fans are irritated right now, but we got to be honest. Steph wins a ring next year and get Finals MVP again next year, gets him 5. We can bring up stats all we want, but some can make an argument that this is the Steph era. It's hard to say that right now because Bron has 4 as well. But I'm saying if Steph wins 5, I'm talking about if Steph wins 5, we got to consider that because you put with his, it's one thing to talk about Steph's resume as far as statistics and MVPs and now having the Finals MVP. That's one thing. But when you put that resume, when you put that statistic accomplishment resume with the total impact he's made on basketball, period, hard to argue. It's hard to argue. Because now, to me, you put a 5-ring, 2 Finals MVP resume with the impact he's made on the game overall. To me, the only person that you honestly can put ahead of Steph would be Jordan. I'm not talking just stats. I'm not talking just rings. I'm not even talking just impact. I'm talking about combining all 3 together. I'm not talking about right now. Steph has 4, Bron has 4, and Kobe has 5. You know, Duncan has 5 with 3 Finals MVPs. I know I'm getting tired of people disrespecting Tim, acting like Tim is not a real top 5 player. But I'm saying if Steph wins another ring and gets another Finals MVP, when you mix in statistics with team accomplishments, with the rings, with total impact of the game, if Steph wins one more and gets a Finals MVP, when you mix all 3 of those together, to me, only Jordan is ahead of Steph if he wins again and get another Finals MVP. I think Steph being top 5 is definitely arguable. It's definitely arguable. Right now I got Steph at like 6 or 7. He's top 10, but he's closer to the number 5 number than he is to the 10 number. I think Steph is probably like 6 or 7 right now. My top 5, no order: Jordan, Kobe, Bron, Tim, Reem. Okay, your 6 is probably Magic. And then you make a case for Shaq, but right now I would have Steph over Shaq. I know Shaq has 3 Finals MVPs, but Steph and Shaq probably like tied. I could put Shaq 7. I could put Steph 7. They're like right there. But if he wins another ring, now you're talking somebody out of that that superior five that I just named has to go out. The popular decision would be to take Tim out because Tim doesn't pass the eye test with impact. I get all that, but 3 Finals MVPs, 5 rings is definitely hard to sneeze at. Okay, but I'm saying if Steph wins another ring, when you mix in all together with the impact and the stats and the team accomplishments, only Michael Jordan would probably be ahead of Steph. Okay, we know Bron and Kobe got more points. We know Bron's going to probably finish the first player to retire with 30,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 10,000 assists. We know Bron may actually go down as the all-time leading scorer in points over Kareem. I get all of that. What I'm talking about is the combination of impact mixed with stats, mixed with team accomplishments. Bron has had a great impact on the game, but I don't know if Bron's impact on basketball is greater than Steph's. His impact on the game, as far as with the youth and people wanting to be like a Steph or like a Bron. Like, Bron has made a tremendous impact, no doubt about it, but I'm saying I don't know if it's more than Steph's right now. I mean, some people can disagree. If y'all disagree, put your reason why you disagree in the comments if you think Bron has had a bigger impact on basketball than Stephen Curry. I think Stephen Curry's had a bigger impact on the game than LeBron James. But if you disagree, I want you to comment. I want to hear your side. Why do you think Bron has had a bigger impact on the game? I think Bron has had a bigger impact on sports business. Player control, players having a voice, going against the shut up and dribble movement. I think Bron has had a bigger impact on culture, and he's had a bigger black culture in particular. I'm just going to be honest. He's had a bigger impact on black culture, and I think Bron has had a bigger impact on the business of sports. I'm talking just the game of hoop, just the game of basketball, the on-court things. I don't think Bron's had a bigger impact than Steph. So when you mix all that with the stats and team accomplishments, if Steph wins another ring and gets number 5 and gets another Finals MVP to go with it, he coming for MJ. I got to be honest. And I've always been critical on Steph when you rank him with the top-tier GOATs, only because he didn't have a Finals MVP. I wasn't doubting Steph. I'm saying when you do compare him to Bron, to Kobe, to Jordan, to Tim, all those guys that are top-tier, it's hard to make a case for a guy with 0 Finals MVPs. Now that he has 1, you can't say that no more. If he goes and gets another ring and gets another Finals MVP, bro, he's knocking on the door for GOAT status. And I don't even want to give it to him that quick, but you got to be honest when you think about impact. Only Jordan's probably had a bigger impact. I want to be like him. Iverson's in there, but when, the team accomplishments, Iverson just he doesn't have it. He doesn't have the rings. He just doesn't have it. Steph has the stats as far as for his lane, 3-point record, things like that. He has the team accomplishments, and he has the impact. So if he gets more rings and gets another Finals MVP, bro, he's right there. So he's definitely top 10. So that's my input, man. And I really think Steph, his road to greatness is very similar to Kobe's in a weird way. Because Steph is going to retire. He's not going to have all of the best stats. However, his impact and his team accomplishments and how he got his rings and the criticism he had to deal with on the court, very, very similar to Kobe. Very, very similar. There were a lot of people doubting Kobe. There were a lot of people that was critical on Kobe because he didn't have a Finals MVP after the three-peat. Lakers trade Shaq and then they missed the playoffs. I mean, dude, Kobe got it in the media. And he changed that narrative by going back-to-back and getting 2 Finals MVPs of his own. So, very similar, man. That's something to think about. I know we giving Tatum and Booker that Kobe pass, but I think it's really Steph. Let me know if you disagree. Like, comment, subscribe. We out.